There cannot be resurrection without death. So if resurrection life is what you want, then you cannot still be alive. You must die to what you want. You must die to your own ambitions and pick up the will of God for your life. And sometimes the process of even discerning and discovering that is part of the death protocol. You know the times you need to spend with God for him to educate you about his will for your life. Are you willing to even give him that time? And that's even the least of the whole thing. Look at it. Look at it. Look at it. Look, there is no faith preacher who understood faith more than Paul. No faith preacher today understood faith more than Paul. Because every one of them uses his letters. Show me a faith preacher who is preaching faith minus the letters of Paul. He says, we having the same spirit of faith. How can you be talking about death and you say faith? Look at it. According as it is written, I believed and therefore have I spoken. We also believe and therefore speak. Knowing that he which raised up the Lord Jesus shall raise up us also by Jesus and shall present us with you. For all things are for your sakes, that the abundant grace might through the thanksgiving of many redound unto the glory of God. I just am reading this through. For which cause we faint not. For which cause we faint not. Paul is saying, I die daily. Death is operating in me. All he's saying is that I is dead. It's Christ who is alive. Now, if I is dead, how can I faint? Fainting happens before dying. But he's already dead. So now the life after death cannot include fainting. He says, for this cause we faint not. But though our outward man perish, yet the inward man is renewed day by day. Because our light affliction, which is but for a moment, worketh for us a far more exceeding and eternal weight of glory. We mentioned that last week. How does this work? You see, because usually we quote verse 18. But verse 18 is tied to 17, which is tied to 16, which is tied to 15, which is tied. That thing was not written in verses. It's tied. So he says, for our light affliction, which is but for a moment, worketh for us a far more exceeding and eternal weight of glory while we look not. It does this while we look not. So as long as you are looking at the things which are seen, don't think verse 17 will be your harvest. If you walk by sight, you can't walk in the glory of God.